Alright guys, welcome to the channel. Now, I wanted to do something different for this video, and what I wanted to do is let you get into my mind of what I'm thinking about in this battle, and how to hopefully uh, pull a game that is a certain defeat into a victory. And sometimes when you get into a match, you're not gonna have the best team. Sometimes you'll get lucky and they won't have the best team either. And that's kind of what happens in this game. Now, at the start of every game, the big thing is just size up the two team comps. Like, I don't really care about player skill, but certain comps can change things. And the first thing that kind of worries me on this particular match is they have two IS-7s and a VKK in the same platoon. Our tier 10s are not all heavies in the same platoon, so I figuring wherever they go, they're going to be working together, and that may not be the case. Also, what's concerning to me right away is my E75 is, pause it right here, is still in base. And I notice our Rhino doesn't look like he's running a turbo, so he's going to be behind me. The IS-7 is obviously going hill. That's a good thing. So right away, I'm already thinking the Yag's behind, the E75's not moving, the T95's not coming. We might be a little bit light on the hill, and what's kind of worse about that is we have two Rhinos on our team. Rhino only has about 2,000 DPM, so I know I'm also at a DPM disadvantage going to this hill. So I'm already thinking about this before I'm even driving up here, but I don't know where their heavies are going, and I do believe that when you can take the hill on this map, it is the most important position, at least in pub play, to take. So I do something I don't normally do, and that's mostly because I'm so far ahead of the rest of my team right here, is I'm actually going to perch up right here and shoot the tanks that are over here. Normally, I will say, tell people, get to your position, as quickly as you can, take those strong positions, particularly this lighthouse. But I'm already seeing my team's behind, so I don't want to just rush up there and be alone. First shot misses, second hits. I don't want to take a third shot because of the long reload up here, and I want to be sure I have my rounds loaded when I'm at the top, because again, I'm expecting to see some heavies, and I need to get up here and obviously support my IS-7. So I'm constantly just kind of looking back and watching my mini-map. Now, just pause here. What's a big difference between, let's say, your Unicums, your super Unicums, and your average players is really situational and map awareness. There is almost, there's some difference, but there's very little in capability of knowing where to pin tanks, brawling it out. I find an average player, if you just, shooting at each other, they know where to shoot you. So that's not what really separates it. It's definitely just being able to read the mini-map and know what kind of situation and what you should do. That's the difference, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do here, is explain what I'm seeing. Now, I see that this IS-7 fired. He's got a long reload. I'm going to try to put a round in, and my round hits way short. So my aim was perfect. The game's was not. So here, I don't want to just waste all my ammo. One, this thing has really bad DPM, so I definitely don't want to I want to try to keep 3 shells, or at least 2 shells in the mag at all times. At least while I'm brawling it out here. Trying to figure out where I can get a shot, and this is just kind of working. My team's already bleeding a lot of health, and I am watching this. My Rhino just basically YOLOs. And I can see there's 4 tanks here. Alright, so this again, I'm looking back, I see my 705A has not moved up. My Yag has not moved up. My E75 is, I don't even know where he is, can't even see him, he's so far back. So I see right away, there's 1, 2, 3, this is that platoon of 3 heavies. And then they've also moved up a tier 9 heavy. So I do what I think is the smart thing right here, and I'm just getting out, because that's a 4v2 fight. They're in the platoon. They're actually pushing already. So I'm just getting out of this really bad situation as quickly as I can. Now, on this map particularly, you can just run back to the woods and kind of reset. It's not my favorite thing to do. How often do I get to do this on this map, and it's from either side? like 1 out of 20 matches that this becomes an actual thing. Most of the time, the teams are brawling it out up top, and I will stay up top brawling. But in this case, because my team has failed to kind of support the hill, I'm just getting out. And as you see there, Pagetto, the other tier 9 heavy, also moved up to hill. Kind of got lucky right there. He hit my track. And the worst thing when you have to fall back like this, obviously in a heavy tank, you don't have the best gun handling. Most heavies aren't known for being snipers. Make sure I'm double bushed, so if I am firing, I'm not spotted. And we just try to do the best I can right here while tanks are lit. I want to get some damage out. Obviously, the game's aim is not as good as my aim, again. And here I'm just waiting. And there's another tank presents himself. I get a tank shot in. I'm just trying to basically push these guys back. Again, my aim was perfect, Games was not. Right now the Yag is spotting these tanks, and he's going to be dead very shortly. Right here, just putting my last shot out. Doesn't pin. Here, I signal my scout, who very aggressively has moved up, to basically, like, he needs to come back and scout this hill. This is kind of like a scout's dream right here, is to be able to just spot this hill for them to push down. He doesn't, so yeah, so right now I just need to get my tank fully reloaded. I'm gonna fast forward it just a little bit. Got 2 rounds, trying to get my 3rd round in. It's going to be very important, just in case they YOLO into the woods, which they do in this match. And when you're in a situation like this, like, ideally they should win this. If they had some really good players, they probably would. Their VK YOLO's in, not the worst decision, if he can get some spots, but he actually stops and dies. The IS-7 doesn't do anything with it. One thing that they failed to do is take advantage of their positioning. So what really works in my favor here is, if you see they've left the Leo head here, had they kind of got the hill and pushed up this line, like this, like they should, this is an easy win for them, because then at this point, like, we would be surrounded, and they just, as soon as they got lights on something, it'd just get obliterated. But like I said, sometimes you gotta get unlucky in that there's a bad team. You're on a bad team, and you get lucky because the other team is also not a great team. And when that happens, you can actually make some plays. Now I'm sitting at 2,300 damage. It's not that great yet. Trying to get fully loaded. Now there's still 2 heavies up here. I know the Hori is on the other side of the map, so I'm not worried about that. I don't know where their Waffle is. Assuming he's probably sniping from somewhere. I was actually waiting for my a round to get loaded there. And now I decide, you know what? We've killed off the IS-7s, the other tier 9 heavy. I'm going to race up. I'm going to kill this Pagetto. I basically at this point have decided I'm retaking map control. They basically YOLO pushed into a strong position and died. And of course, being an autoloader, I know I can kill this guy in 2 shots. Bat chat basically just got lit and died. I'm gonna finish off this guy here. Here. Doesn't have the armor to really stand. I just go right through his turret. From here, I got 2 decisions. I can go up the hill, or I can just kind of go lower along the hill. First, I start kind of going up the hill, and the reason I'm doing this is I want to make sure the Waffle's not up here, because he's really the last tank that I don't know where he's at. And in a moment, he actually gets spotted. So I know the Hori's still in town. I know that Polish Heavy, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it's in town. And the Waffle, yeah, I haven't seen him yet. I see my Leo pushing, and there he is. So try to finish him off. Again, aim was perfect. Games was not. I'm gonna go ahead and put another round into him to make sure he's a one shot. And here I'm just dropping down. I'm basically safe right here. Um, that Artie could obviously shoot me if I was lit, but none of their TDs can harm me. The Hori's dead, and I'm just gonna get my rounds loaded. Um, there's not much point in me just rushing forward right now. So, hey, just take a breather. Uh, the map is the game's won at this point, and we got 2 rounds. I'm pretty much by just internal math. I'm gonna be loaded by the time I get up here. I am pretty sure the Waffle has rushed back into the woods, and at this point, I'm just going to drive straight down him because I got full HP. The Rhino's not the healthiest tank, especially of your tier 10s. And I do get a surprise. Artie was being kind of cheeky here and actually moved up the hill. Uh, sure. So there's one down. Artie shot me. I already know he's in here, right? What else is he going to be? Waffle's in here, not a surprise. I'm just going to keep driving forward until I spot him. There's the Waffle, dead. And the T-92, dead. And right there, finished the game with over 5,000 damage and 4 kills. Now, none of that happens if I just don't realize at the quarter way into the game that the hill is lost. And seeing that they had more tanks up there, that their team had actually pushed, they'd actually, between me and that IS-7 had a 2-to-1 advantage because that they had 4 heavies right there, and there was a 5th one that was moving up the flank that I didn't even know who was there yet. Um, Seeing those situations and knowing I need to get out of them is what will help you like improve. So, uh, my key advice is watch what your team's doing. Just because you want to go to a spot and you want to fight at a spot doesn't mean you have to stay there. And if for some reason you need to kind of fall back to a different position that's going to be more advantageous, do that. Um, Again, that's not going to be every battle. Don't make it your first reaction to run back, but sometimes just realize that the situation is really, really against you, and that's what you need to do. And hopefully, you can occasionally pull one out and have a great game and make it a good one like this one. So, good luck out there and keep tanking.